Hey, welcome to Tuesday's Haters.
Haters. How's it going, everybody?
Filipino champ style.
Exactly.
Dope.
And I'm James Chen, and alongside...
Hey, I'm Ultra David, and there's actually quite a bit to talk about this week. We just realized it just before we were going to go on the air.
We're like, what can we talk about? We can talk about this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and it's like, whoa.
It turned out there was a ton of stuff.
Right. But, of course, this last weekend, there was a major event, which...
It was a big event.
Kind of isn't a big event anymore and may no longer be relevant ever again.
There was an event.
Yeah, so...
feedback on the mic?
Huh? Feedback, cicadas on the mic. I like that. What kind of feedback are the... Oh, the buzzing again. There we go.
Got
gone.
Okay,
Buzzing's
cool.
Gone. Sorry, guys. That was cicadas on the mic. I like that. Yeah, exactly. So... so SBO.
Super Battle Opera,
Togeki, which used to be the creme de la creme, right? I mean...
just go into the history of this thing.
Right.
People might not know.
I mean, I still think... So, I don't know if a lot of people watching this saw my tweet, but I tweeted that scene from Bang the Machine that happens to be on YouTube, because they released a bunch of little small clips.
Didn't see that.
And there's that clip of Alex Valle... JR and Flipmane sitting on the couch, and they're watching a Japanese tournament, and they're announcing Daigo the Beast. It's all crazy. It's like in the stadium and everywhere, and like Flipmane and JR were like, an Image, I guess I should say. They were like, whoa, it's like that in Japan? Yeah, and Vi's like, dude, it's all crazy. They're like in city halls and shit. It's like, and they're like, dang, that's crazy. And you just see this look on Vi's face, and it's like the key moment. He's just lying on the couch and he's looking at that screen, and you could just see this look on his face like, God damn it, I wish it was like this in America. I wish it was like this. And now, given the events of this last weekend at SBO, I find the whole thing just completely ironic now.
I guess that's true.
You know?
So SBO, Super Battle Opera, I think it started in 2002, if I recall, 2003. I always get that mixed up for some reason. Mm-hmm. In any case, it's been around for a decade. There was a long period of time where it was the tournament in the world. It was the most prestigious tournament.
Yes. It was like basically the Wimbledon of fighting game tournaments. You know, this is the one that you wanted to win.
Right, exactly. From North America and other areas, there are qualifiers to go play in Japan, which also has its own set of qualifiers. So SBO is like the qualifier. It's not an open tournament in the way that EVO is.
Right.
It's a qualifier that you have to get into, and they only extend qualifying spots to certain places, yada yada. It was also always, until I think this year, an arcade-only tournament.
Yeah.
It was basically designed as a way to sell or to advertise arcade machines, right? Like that was a big part of it.
It's run by Togeki. Togeki runs Arcadia Magazine. Yeah. Arcadia Magazine is about the arcade scenes.
There you go.
It all kind of ties in together.
There you go. Yeah. So, what happened this weekend?
Well, so normally the event is always single elimination, and you can't change characters.
Yeah.
And it's one game.
Right.
So it's like I would almost like to compare it to NCAA, because it's just so much more dangerous. You don't get a second chance.
Actually, that's pretty, yeah.
Right, you don't get another chance. Life is no Nintendo game.
It's like college basketball.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So this danger level has always been there, and then this SBO kind of was a little interesting, because not only did they finally include a console game, which was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is an American game, which is even weirder, right? And then that game was 2 out of 3.
Right. Although it's still single elimination.
It's still single elimination, but it was the first time I think Super Battle Opera ever did a 2 out of 3. They normally have teams, though.
Right.
So the teams kind of balances out the one game factor.
Right. I mean, it's not always teams. There have definitely been games that are not teams, so.
Right. Now, here's the thing, right? The problem is this year, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a money-saving plan, because last year Super Battle... Okay, so last year we already ran into a bunch of problems. They did not treat the foreign teams very well. They kind of screwed over the Kuwait team and the second American team, part of which Banana Ken was on.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, they didn't have... They didn't arrange the spots correctly, and they didn't have as many spots as they thought.
Right.
So those two teams were forced to fight it out to get into the tournament that they had already qualified for and spent a ton of money traveling halfway across the world to go to.
Right. And so everyone thought that, wow, like, this is like, wow, I can't believe SBO is like this. It's going downhill.
Yeah.
You know, can it get any worse? And, well, this year...
So it was held outside. It was a video game tournament that was held outdoors.
In the summer of Japan.
In the freaking hot-ass, bright, shiny summer.
So, for anybody who doesn't know geography, who's never lived on the east coast of a continent, when you're on the east coast of a continent, humidity is a huge problem, and heat is a huge problem in the summer. If you're from Florida, New York, Taiwan, Japan, any of those places, at this time of year, it is just like death outdoors. And so it was 100 degrees, super humid, like you said, super bright. There was glare on the screen.
They couldn't see the screens. I mean, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't see the screen. Well, I guess we'll get into the shouting and how much I hate this whole thing in a bit, but let's continue just describing the situation.
So it was outdoors. There were cicadas, like giant, like there was literally a picture of cicadas crawling on like the wires of the game machinery. Apparently there were frogs hopping around as well.
Why not?
Because it was outdoors, literally in the middle of nowhere. So they said it was like a 2-hour train ride from Tokyo to get there or something like that. I think that's what Kayane said in her blog post. You know, I don't have the link to Kayane's blog post, but you should look it up. Maybe we'll tweet it later on. She described her whole event because it was her whole dream to go to SBO, to represent France in SBO. And then the first year she goes, it's this outdoors barbecue event, you know, that's like, I mean, seriously, it was outdoors, so the network wasn't even good. Like, literally, someone took a picture of a match that was last game, last round, Kindebu was on it, and network disconnected. And so they're on the screen, it just says, you know, in Japanese, network has been disconnected, and they had to play the whole game over again.
The machines were hooked up to each other?
Yeah, well, because
oh, that's right.
Because in Street Fighter 4, you cannot play next to each other. It's only networked machines. It's the only way to play Street Fighter 4 Versus. And so, yeah, there was a lot of bad things going on there. So there was network lag, like we said, the glare, and just, I mean, it just didn't, I don't know what happened. Like, it's just shocking to me that this tournament that everybody has spent so much time, like, dreaming of going there and representing and playing, just kind of fell off the map so badly. I mean, we have comments from guys like Justin who literally said he's not going back to SBO. He said, I will go to Japan to visit, but I will never go to SBO again. You know, there was a lot of people who said that. And Kayane's blog post, she sounded so sad, you know, about it. It's just like dreams being crushed kind of thing, you know, and it's really unfortunate. I feel sorry for a lot of these players. So the American team that we had was PR Balrog.
In Street Fighter 4.
In Street Fighter 4 was PR Balrog, Latif, and Dominion. And, you know, all three of them, this is their first SBO.
Yeah.
Oh, not Latif. Latif has been there
for Guilty.
For Guilty Gear. But, you know, to have PR Rog and Dominion go there and this is their first experience with it, you know. I forgot someone, like, posted a picture of, like, previous SBO just indoors with smoke machines and crazy intro screens and just, like, this whole audience area. Like, nobody was in the audience.
The audience was just not there, yeah.
It looked like an MLG event. So, you know, but
Wow.
for fighting games anyway.
Well
but you know, I mean, literally no one wanted to sit out there because it was so hot out there, you know. So yeah, but
yeah, I guess we just have like blow up in our system today, right? Like let's do this. So Justin won Marvel.
Yes, he did.
Justin won Marvel. He's the first American to win SBO in any game.
Yes.
Right.
First, maybe even foreigner. No, I think Soul Calibur was won
really
by a foreigner or something. But yeah, but Justin Wong. So year after year, we've gone to SBO, and America has failed miserably.
Yeah, it's been definitely an annoying thing that we've gone through in all the games that we've tried to take seriously. Just have not done that well at SBO.
Right. And so, like, here's a great example. PR Balrog, Latif, Dominion, got past first round this year.
Right.
And everybody was so excited. They lost second round. That is the farthest any team has ever gotten for Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
Because we have never made it out of the first round previously.
Right.
And then, like, in Third Strike, Justin and Ricky were on a team. They got blown up by Kuroda's Q.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Classic.
Yeah, it's just been year after year. The farthest any American team has ever gotten was Graham Wolf and Alex Wolf in Anniversary Edition.
Oh, that's right, in
of
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Shin Chang did get, what was it, top 4? Maybe he got 3rd place?
Fourth place. Their team got fourth
fourth
place. Yeah, their team got 4th place. But he was on the team with Gamer B.
No, it looks like he got 3rd place.
Oh, was it 3rd place?
Yeah, so it was RB guy, Shen, who was playing Yun, and then Gamer B Adon, which is basically like Team Taiwan, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm definitely going to claim him for America in this case. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he learned all of his gaming skills here in America and such. So.
Oh yeah, Gutex, KO Fiend, and Jaewon got 2nd round.
Well, I meant in Street Fighter 4.
In 4? Okay.
Yeah, in 4, they'd never gotten past the first round.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
for sure.
been blown up. So, obviously, America has just been clamoring for, like, maybe one year we'll finally win a tournament there, you know, whereas Japan has come over to EVO and several tournaments, right? And so it's just been waiting for so long for an American to finally go over to Japan and win an SBO.
It's been a long time coming, and I know that when Justin won it, despite what he said about, you know, not wanting to come back, he seemed pretty hyped about actually winning SBO. It's a nice thing to say, and you know, I saw tweets from people like Ricky who had been there before and wasn't able to get it, saying, you know, big congrats,
right,
to Justin for actually finally doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
introducing
SBO.
One of the main things that was really interesting to me about Justin winning, though, when I talked to Justin about it, he actually said it was really cool because, you know, in America, he's kind of the heel, in a way. A lot of people root against him. Some people boo him from time to time, unless he's using Iron Fist, right? And he said in Japan, like, they were chanting his name.
Yeah.
And they were, like, all rooting for him and stuff. And he was like, this is so cool. Like, it was an awesome feeling for him. Because I basically said to him, this must be what it's like when Daigo comes over to America. Because how many of us are just like, oh, Daigo! You know, we love Daigo and everything, right? And then so when Justin goes to Japan, you have all these Marvel players in Japan who just want to get so good at that game.
Right.
So they must just like, oh my God, Justin's so amazing at this game. And so
Right.
when they see him play, they're just like, I mean, they were literally cheering for him to win the tournament. Like, they wanted him to win.
He did.
And he did, so.
And, you know, it wasn't just those 2 games there. We talked about Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3. There was also Third Strike was actually there, which was team tournaments again, 3-on-3. And Genki Alex, like, almost won, apparently. I didn't get to watch. This is what I have heard, that he did really well. That Kuroda Oro, like, didn't do quite as well as people had expected, but, like, Genki... Like, look at the second team that almost won SBO. Dudley, Remy, Alex.
Dude, I heard that Remy was, like, tearing everybody
I heard
up.
Pierrot was doing some sick stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a great player for a very long time. It's not, like, a surprise to see him do well, but, like, for that team to get second place is definitely... unusual,
and you can see
to almost win.
Kuroda trolling everybody. So the first place team was MOV Chun-Li,
Yeah.
Boss Yun,
Yeah.
and Kuroda Oro.
Well, the thing about Kuroda is that he's basically the best player in the world with like a third of the cast.
Yeah, pretty much.
and-
He's ridiculous in that game.
Oh yeah, I mean he dominates that game in terms of the cast in a way that few other people dominate other games. I don't even know that if I can name anybody who does that. So it's not surprised to see him win with whoever.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Persona 4, which just came out today, was also there. Kind of interesting results. Well, Mitsuru took Cherry also, but Sanada and Naoto were up there too.
Do you know if the
pretty
Finest
cool.
KO stream is still going right now? The
I don't know.
24-hour stream is still going right now?
I don't, but I know that Offcast just started a Persona stream from
Okay.
UCI, so if you're interested, check that out. Then Aquapasa, which I don't know anything about, and like whatever. That's all.
Right.
Something happened there, I guess. Maybe some people won or lost.
Virtua Fighter was there.
Yeah,
Virtua
so yeah,
Fighter
so VF was
Final
pretty
Showdown.
cool. Yeah. I heard that the Leifei Bari Bari-kun was doing really well.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
But I didn't get to watch any of this, as we'll get to
Wow, no Fudo.
in perhaps the next segment. Tekken Tag 2, Soul Calibur 5, like you said, that Kayane was there for. She didn't get tops.
And you know what? She lost in the first round because the first choice, you were not allowed to use your own controller.
Godlike.
You had to use either a Mad Catz pad or a Hori joystick. And the first joystick she got, the down wasn't working very well, so she had to switch to another joystick, and then she couldn't see the screen, and so she lost. And I mean, seriously, it was just...
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely soul-crushing there just to go there and not be able to play your best. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just... It's so unfortunate.
So you want to take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about SPO?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Tuesday Haters.
That's right, and we're talking about the dumbest fucking tournament of all time. It's so stupid.
You know, I mean, the funny thing about it is a lot of people used to complain about it because of its single elimination format and stuff like that, and now it's just like it's turned into almost a laughingstock this year.
Let me tell you what they have there. They have one of the best combinations. Well, maybe not for Marvel 3, but for most of these games, they have one of the best gatherings of talent that you could possibly want to get. Right. I mean, the players that were there for Street Fighter, amazing. I can only assume it's the same as the two for the other games.
Right.
They make it so that the players can have as little surety as possible that the people who make top 3 or top 5 are the best. The rules are designed such that you cannot really know if the people who win are the best that day, because it's just one game for the most part, other than Marvel for this time, and it's single elimination. So you're gonna get things like in Marvel, Cho versus Justin Wong happened second round,
right? And unfortunately, since a single elimination,
that was it. Cho lost.
Yeah.
So he in my mind was the biggest threat from the Japanese side to win things, and here he is against Justin. So okay. All the people that Justin played after that, and all the people that everybody else played, they got farther than him, even though, for sure, he's better than 25 people there at least, if not more than that.
I mean, obviously, when we play in American tournaments, a lot of really just unfortunate matchups happen early on.
Sure.
But there's always the losers bracket, and they get put in the losers bracket, and usually they can battle their way through, and a lot of times that player will even end up in grand finals again against the same person.
It totally happens. It's not easy, but like you can do that. In fact,
it's the John Choi strategy. It's the John Choi.
Right.
Yeah.
This weekend was also I guess Olympic wrestling started, and I was watching that, right? And it turns out that it's a single elimination bracket, but if you lose to a guy who makes it to the ultimate gold medal match, then you get reinstated and you get to
Are you serious?
Back. Yeah. So I was like, wow, like even that stupid idea is better than just running a single elimination one-on-one. Like, wow, SPO, like, could you have designed anything worse? And we've always known that it's stupid. Like, it's always produced dumb things. Like, I was going back and doing a little bit of nostalgia time earlier today, and thinking back to when Isu won SPO in Third Strike with Makoto, and doing just the dumbest stuff of all time. Like meaty, crouching light kick, super, like there's no verification. He was just like, I'm gonna bet blah blah blah, but because it's 1 out of 1 and it's single limb, okay, like let's just like it's the stupidest thing. It's basically the rules are just set up so that you can't know if whoever wins is really the best. And it's not just set up ridiculously for the players, it's set up ridiculously for the people who are trying to watch.
Right. And it's funny, too, because, I mean, obviously a lot of these other players like GX and stuff, they're good players, right? But the grand finals was Justin and GX, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was it GX?
Wasn't it Kubo?
Oh, was it Kubo? Oh, yeah, you're right. So Kubo's a good player as well. Who was
sweating balls because it was 1,000,000 degrees outside.
Right, exactly. And then, so what happened? I didn't see the match, but I heard it was basically...
I watched it. It was just
it's like two perfects, almost.
So, yeah, Justin took 1 hit of chip damage in the first game, and the second one was like a little bit more, but not that much. He basically started things off with an air throw and then ran a train.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah, so my comment was, Usain Bolt just broke the record this weekend, right? And someone in the 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
And someone sent me a link of a documentary on him, and you could see Usain Bolt playing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or is it Vanilla Marvel? It was one of them. He was playing Marvel 3. He's sitting there playing it, and he didn't even look like he was horrible. He looked like he knew what he was doing and stuff like that. So my comment was, what was faster? Usain Bolt's now world record run or Justin's match in grand finals at SBO? Because I was told that it was like 30 seconds. The grand finals.
The whole thing?
Yeah, it was like pretty much 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he started off with an air throw both rounds and just ran a train. Like, that was it.
Yeah, and I'm talking 30 seconds with stuff between the matches and, them futzing around
horrible.
and stuff.
It was horrible.
Yeah. I think it was Glenn from GY2 who said literally like the first game was 10 seconds. So, there is a chance that it could have been faster than Usain Bolt's world record.
In part, this nonsense is because of another part of how SBO does things. It's quals only, and they get to decide how many people qualify and from which areas.
Right.
So, clearly, North America is better. Europe probably is better than Japan at this game. They have several players of note. One of them won final round, so it's not like they're bad. But for sure, the bulk of the Marvel talent in the world is not in that place. And yet, the people who they invited where they had the qualifiers were mostly in Japan. And so you end up with this tournament that is basically, a SoCal weekly or like a mid-major tournament in most parts of the country. And Justin just gets right through it. And people like Killer Kai, who I have a ton of respect for, Mihei, etc., Jan, those guys, I didn't get to see their match, and so I don't know how well they did, or I don't know what happened exactly. They couldn't take the time with the 32 people that they had running a single elimination bracket to show everybody on stream, a stream that they charged $35 for, $40 for, something like that.
I think it came out to like 32 something if you paid for it.
Yeah, so none of this makes any sense to me. Like, the way that they run the tournament, the way that they show the tournament, this whole extra nonsense. I mean, these are things that have always been issues, right? This whole extra nonsense of them being outside and, glare is an issue now. Like, there are bugs crawling on screen. The network is bad. Kubo, before he sat down to play, when he was up on stage, he's, patting his head with his handkerchief and stuff, because the poor guy it's 1,000,000 degrees outside.
Right.
Like, how can you play a good match if it's 1,000,000 degrees outside and you're sweating like that? Yeah. I mean, I can picture your hands, right? Like, you're going to slip even. It's putting up all these roadblocks to any kind of a respectable tournament at all.
Yeah, I mean,
it sucked.
It seemed like that they were trying to also join with some other outdoor concert thing or something like that. In any case, it was just such a failed decision. It was literally a failure decision, and the question is, can SBO recover from this? Right? There are some people who, not naming any names, who don't care if they recover and almost hope that they don't.
What do you mean not naming any names? I'm sitting right here. I'm going to say that in 5 minutes, but let's hear you talk.
But, I mean, obviously, as, SBO has had a lot of prestige. There is a lot of people who want to win this, who did want to win this tournament from before.
Yeah.
How can they fix themselves? And, honestly, they can. They can absolutely do it. But to be honest with you, I don't care if they're the ones who do it, God's Garden is the one who does it, or somebody else comes and does it. If they just embrace the console, go to a 2 out of 3 format, run it a little more open, just basically have an Evo of Japan. I mean, why not? We have Evo here in America, right? And Japan is where most of the best fighting game players are, right? A good chunk of them. Why don't we have a huge quality tournament that's open to anybody like that in Japan? And
I don't know. I wish that we did.
Yeah.
I definitely wish that we did. I've always hoped that, and I was really happy to see that things like God's Garden have started up. Well, obviously it's been going for a while, but when it started, I was really happy to see that. As for SBO, not only do I not care if they live, but I actively hope that another tournament will take over for them and that they will just leave us alone, because I don't care about them promoting the arcade anymore. I don't care about Aquapazza. Like I have no idea what the game even is. It's of no importance to me.
Well, to be fair, we don't know how well it does in Japan.
Maybe it's awesome in Japan, but I don't care.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like from my point of view, it doesn't offer anything. I feel really bad for my friends who spent a lot of money and a lot of time to go over there to play this asshole tournament with these people who could not even be bothered to put them indoors.
No, you know who you should feel sorry for the most, to be honest with you, is someone like Mike Watson, who put up a crap ton of his own money because it was guaranteed he had to pay for half of everyone who qualified at Super Arcade. And obviously those tournaments did not generate enough money for it to cover that fee. So he actually paid half of all of Team America for Street Fighter 4. He paid half of the two UMVC 3 qualifiers. I think he paid half for Kayani's trip, so because that was qualifier at Super Arcade as well. So yeah, I mean that guy spend a lot of money to have people go sit in 100-degree weather with the humidity factor of, like it's like level 3 humidity X factor.
Yeah.
And
like after that and the last year where they didn't get the number of teams right, and then instead of forcing a Japanese team to face off a Japanese team to get into the SBO, they forced the Kuwaiti team and the American team to have the last chance qualifier, right? Like, I just don't see why you would go back. Like, I don't see why you would invest dollars and time into this kind of thing again.
So
why bother?
People are talking about the prize money that Justin got. He got like $600 or something like that. We don't even want to think about that because SBO's never been about the money.
Right,
I'm going to say that much. SBO's never been about a prize money. Sure. So the fact that Justin got any money at all is already like, wow, that's amazing. Because in Japan, you can't run a tournament with entry fee and get prize money because that's considered gambling. Right. SBO has no entry fee. That's why they can give away a prize. But it's never been about the money there. So none of the players went there wanting to win money. SBO is about pride, and that is what made it that prestigious tournament. You went there to win it just to win it, and if you won it, it meant you just really wanted it and you did it for pride. Sure. That's what made it so great. But I mean, it's not worth it. I mean, the tournament has to be good to be able to maintain that prestige.
I mean, that was during a period of time, especially during the start. Like, I feel like we all have this kind of like tug on our heartstrings for SBO because it became a big thing when over here in North America we had a very small scene. Things were not going well, right? Between like the early to mid 2000s and 08, 09 more or less, right? Like it was not, we didn't have a big scene and it sucked. So we knew that the best players were in Japan at the time. Like there was no doubt about it in all the games that they played, that we knew that they were the best. So we had this idea in mind, okay, we don't have a big scene. They have the best players. Whatever their most prestigious tournament is must be the most prestigious tournament in the world, regardless of what the rules were. And of course, I remember the whole time that this was going on, we always in the U.S. were kind of like mystified, like why are they running this tournament like in one out of one and single limb? We didn't understand, but we nevertheless held it in high regard because of where it was and because of the players who went there.
Right.
Only reasons.
Right.
Now that we have more important tournaments elsewhere in the world, it's not just North America with EVO and the various other majors that we have. Australia has big stuff. Europe has big stuff.
Canada Cup.
Canada has big stuff, right? I mean, there are other tournaments now in East Asia that are also huge and very much of note. So I don't see like where SBO's place is among that set because it hamstrings itself with qualifiers, with the fact that it wants to show arcade games, with the fact that it has this god-awful tournament arrangement, with the fact that the stream is ass and costs a ton of money. From none of these angles does it make any sense that it would continue to be a major thing.
Yeah, I mean, before, for example, EVO, if there were 4 Japanese players coming to play Third Strike, that basically meant there were 4 Japanese players in the top 8.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If there was 3 CVS2 Japanese players, there were 3 CVS2 Japanese players in top 8, right? That's the way it used to be. So that's why SBO, it was just like, we don't care if you have qualifiers everywhere.
Exactly.
Right? But this year at EVO, we had 1 Japanese player in top 8 of Street Fighter 4. 1 Japanese player. I mean, think about the difference between that. That just kind of hammers the point that you had about the qualifiers, right? At EVO, we're an open tournament. We had 6 countries represented. Only 2 spots were represented by America.
Right.
and we had 2 from Korea, and then from Japan, Australia, from Taiwan, and China. You know, I mean, that just shows you how global this game has become, and SBO is not embracing that enough.
No.
You know, they're kind of stuck in their mentality, and that's just the thing. The problem with it is, you know, we're still all trying to figure it out, and SBO's, I think, is a little too focused on the way they've always done it. Mm-hmm. Which is why, you know, when they announced UMVC3 this year and it was going to be 2 out of 3, I was so excited. I was like, it's going to be different this year. It's going to be different. They're adapting. Uh-huh. And then they went outdoors. It's just like...
that doesn't even show, like, signs of adaptation or not. It's just, like, such a strange decision. Yeah. Like, I can't... It's so strange. I mean, maybe the money thing is the truth. Like, maybe they're just running out of dollars or whatever. Right. And just can't afford to have a reasonable tournament anymore. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it used to be a cool-looking tournament, right? You had very high production values at SBO, and again, for them to retain the same nonsense that they've always had, while the rest of the world and even Japan is getting better with tournaments and competition, and also to not have production value anymore.
Right.
Like, I don't see where they fit in at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate, like I said. I mean, I would like to see SBO manage to come back, but the only way they can do it is if they just do an overhaul.
Well,
they need to do an overhaul. But like I said, if somebody else does it, if God's Garden comes over, then fine.
Well, look, I want a huge tournament in Japan. There should be multiple, because there's so much talent and so many good players. They should be having awesome tournaments year round. Right. It's not all the case that I don't want tournaments in Japan. Mm-hmm. You know. It's just that I think that SBO's style of doing things is so horribly outdated, and in the first place was an awful idea, that I don't care if it dies. Other things should take its place. They really should, and I hope that they would. Okay.
Survival of the fittest, per se, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens in American tournaments, too, after all. That's what happens everywhere. There are tournaments that get reputations for being bad, and people don't go to them as much anymore. Right. And there are tournaments that, even relatively new ones, or resurrected ones, like, you know, UFGT and CEO and stuff like that, or the various Cali regionals.
They've become pretty prestigious.
They've become prestigious in like 2-3 years. Yep. You know, so you can totally do it.
Right. Yep. Okay, cool. Well, I guess we could take a little quick break.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and talk about some of the other things that are going on around the fighting game community.
Let's please leave this topic and just like... I don't even want to deal with it anymore.
All right, fair enough. Change topics when we come back.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about Curiosity. I followed it. I actually watched on the live stream as it was happening.
Dude, I missed the landing. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I watched it. It was awesome. I mean, it's not like you could see the thing landing live. It was just the reactions of the actual people on Earth. But it was still really cool. I have a lot of like NASA and JPL background in my family.
Oh, really?
Randomly. Yeah. Huh. So it's always been really important to me and to my family to watch that stuff.
Yeah, it was just really funny.
I was super... I've been all about that like the last several days.
I've seen the video of when it landed and how excited everyone got, and that's why I had to post up that video of me like going crazy again. I was like, that's my imitation of the NASA people.
That's awesome. Because
that's what they look like. They literally were just like jumping up and down and fist pumping and stuff. So
very cool. Very cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So other stuff has also happened in fighting games. A couple of interesting things happen just like today / last night. Mm-hmm. That is, Combo Fiend Peter Rosas is no longer with Complexity.
Yeah. He's still part of the Cross Counter team.
Right.
But he's no longer part of Complexity.
Right. And on the other, well, sort of similar news, Level Up actually announced that they're going to be doing their own competitive team.
That's cool, actually.
That's cool. I had no expectation that would happen. Yeah. That wasn't even on my radar. But.
Right, and apparently AJ is going to be managing that.
Right.
And actually, we should probably mention the fact that right before going to Japan, PR Rog is now EG PR
also
Rog. Yeah, so, you know, it's kind of interesting. EG grows by a member, complexity drops a member. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the future of these teams pan out.
Yeah.
But right now, so complexity is just Mike Ross and Gutex and Filipino Champ right now.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
As far as EG goes, I mean, they obviously could not have picked a better player.
See, I don't know.
It's been remarkable to me that PROG has not been sponsored by some major thing up until this point.
Yeah, I've talked about it so often, just like, why is this guy not sponsored? Because he's amazing at both games, at the both main games, Street Fighter and Ultimate Marvel, so it's just the fact that he had been unsponsored for so long was baffling to my mind.
I mean, he's the kind of player who picks things up really quickly and knows how to play games that you have no idea that he even has ever picked up in his life. But he's a very comprehensively strong player. He does everything well. Mm-hmm. He's a great pickup. I mean, obviously, I wish him success, but I don't even need to do that because I'm sure that he will. I'm sure he will.
Right. And then, of course, Wolf Crone is no longer sponsored by Team Marn.
Oh, that's right. That happened a little while ago.
Yeah,
we never
right before
about
Austin, I think, when we were at the Austin tournament, I think they wrote him down as Team Marn.
Did they?
And he was like, no, and so he's no longer part of Team Marn.
Interesting. Okay.
And I think I heard Jago went back to Empire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. So he left Finger Cramp and went to Empire Arcadia.
So he did leave Finger Cramp then.
He left Finger Cramp.
He's not Empire Finger Cramp Jago or anything like that. Because if he was, that would make the Jago song really hard, a lot harder to sing. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah, that's actually one of the more puzzling ones to me, that he would leave Finger Cramp, which I thought was doing some cool stuff. Like, I like some of the videos that they've been producing. I thought that they're cool ideas. They're well done. Some of them are funny. The ones that are informational are in fact informational. So I thought that was a pretty cool, like, homegrown sort of organization that was doing interesting things, and I was hoping to see good stuff from in the future. Chris G is still there.
Right, yeah, I was about to say.
Right, so Chris G is still there, but Jago has left and went back to Empire Arcadia, where he was with for a long period of time. And there was also news that Video X Games is going to be sponsoring Empire Arcadia to the tune of, I believe, $10,000.
Oh, so the group that did the Caribbean tournament?
Yeah, whatever the actual group is called.
Okay,
I think it's like Video X
okay.
Games something else. But yeah, the one that put on that Caribbean tournament.
Okay, good stuff.
I guess. I mean, it seems very strange that both those moves seem strange to me, because in both cases, they seem like the people had pretty good stuff going on and, like, didn't necessarily need EMP, but, like, I guess they want to try to make it work. And I mean, good luck. It's kind of a toxic brand, so, like, good luck doing that.
But there's no denying that EMP makes waves and its name is out there. I mean, let's face it. Like, half the people on this chat right now have EMP names.
Yeah, they do.
Yep. So
I'm reading it right now.
The thing about it is, EMP, you know how they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Yeah.
There are very few teams out there that get as much publicity as EMP.
Okay.
Triforce, he's out there all the time.
He is.
I mean, there's all these publicity photos of him shaking Reggie Fils-Aimé's hand, for all these Nintendo events and stuff like that. When he stayed outdoors waiting for the 3DS, he was on, like, news all the time and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, if you are tied with Empire, you will be known about. You know what I mean? That's just the thing. So.
But I felt like he was doing a good job, or Jago was, with Finger Cramp, of actively doing things and reaching people that Empire wouldn't have reached.
Right.
Empire's not really... They do have YouTube stuff that they put out, but it's not anything like the things that Finger Cramp puts out.
Right.
And as for Video X Games, like, I just don't get their strategy of advertising themselves in general. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they as far as I could tell, only advertised on Cross Counter, which is good to advertise on Cross Counter because it reaches a lot of people, but to not be, like, hammering away otherwise for, like, a brand new tournament series always seemed really strange to me. So for them to now just do stuff with Empire and not also with, other brands, or not with anybody, but sort of maybe trying to get at everybody, like maybe in the way that the Mad Cats does, trying to get involved in everybody. Like, I don't get what they're...
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know anything about them. I don't know where they came from. I don't know, like...
St. Martin on... in the Caribbean.
Well, no, I mean, okay, I don't mean, like, literally where they came from. I'm just, like, how do they get involved with the fighting game scene? Why, what's their interest?
I heard through the grapevine that they have some kind of agreement with the government in that area, and that this is part of a reach out to people to bring them to the island. It's sort of like a avant-garde ad campaign that is also a tournament series. That's what I heard.
Come to the Caribbeans and play some Street Fighter.
Yeah, basically, just to bring note in some way, to focus people's eyes on this island. I don't know. That's what I heard.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not sure if that's
fair
true.
enough. I mean, that would, dude. I would applaud that. I mean, talk about the coolest way.
Oh, totally.
You can get people to come to your country, right? I mean, that's embracing the modern, technology, modern popularity, whatever people, the things that cool kids are doing these days.
I totally agree. Yeah, I think it's awesome that if that's the case, that the government's doing that. I just am not sure about the way that the people who are running Video X games are using that money and potential reach out.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Just to go back to the start of the segment, what do you think about Level Up starting its own team? Like, do you have any idea? I mean, I don't think either of us knows anything about it, but any idea who you'd like to see them go after? Like, what their role will be? Like, is it going to be Broken Tier-ish or what?
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be kind of similar. Do you remember that they tried to create a team a while ago, a long time ago?
No, I don't.
Back when they tried to do it with Tournament Legacy, right? Back in the when we were still streaming from Hollywood Park and Casino. That team with like Online Tony, he tried to get Combo Fiend. I forgot what they were, and the team like just basically never really truly
that's
existed.
fine. I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's a reason why, because it literally just like they announced the team and nothing ever happened with it. So, I'm hoping it's going to be a lot of the similar people. I know Online Tony is DMG right now.
Yeah.
But so I'm not sure who they're going to put on the team and such. But I'll definitely be very interested in seeing who's going to be on the team. Because honestly, I would have imagined players like Online Tony or the OC Cats, Tatsu, Andy OCR, those guys. But those three are and plus Warhawk. They're all sponsored by Eternal Rival.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Richard Wynn
Right.
as well. So I'm not sure. Hopefully maybe someone like Infrit.
I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah. So it'd be really cool if they can get some good teams good players on their team like that. I mean, SoCal's got a plethora of players you can choose from here. So.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's potentially a good sign. I don't feel like you start up a team nowadays unless you feel like you either have enough money to waste on it or you have a good plan to make money with it.
Right.
I don't feel like they would just rush into it blindly without thinking about those things. So if that's the case, then awesome to Level Up. I hope that means that they're doing well and that things are going well. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what I was going to bring up. Yeah, so the timing of these two things.
I wonder if people heard me there on the street.
I'm just going to say, because I'm sure everybody is thinking the same thing. Combo Fiend left Complexity, and then, like, simultaneously, Level Up announces a new team.
Right.
So, yeah, is he going to be on the team? Again, I have no idea.
Right.
I didn't even know they're going to make a team.
It could just be a crazy coincidence, right? It
yes.
could be a crazy coincidence.
It definitely could be. But I think that'd be cool. Certainly, Combo Fiend, if he intends to... I think he put out a tweet or some message saying that he intends to be part of the community still. He's not trying to leave or stop competing or anything. So,
people need to stop even thinking that.
Yeah.
Combo Fiend, I mean, there's been a couple of times where he's kind of pseudo half left the scene and he's come back because it's just too good of a scene. You can't leave the scene.
I mean, a guy like that just loves to compete. Like he needs
exactly.
to compete. So if it's not this, it's something. But why stop this? He seems to enjoy it. So it'd be cool if Level Up got him. I don't know.
Yep. Okay. Cool. I mean, is there anything else that's been going on?
Team related,
Yeah, team related. Because I didn't even realize there was that much team related stuff, but there is. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. So, I mean, what about other news? There was. Oh, we wanted to talk about obviously some events that are coming up. The New York Capcom tournament is coming up. Capcom 25th anniversary tournament is coming up in this weekend.
In New York.
And you and I will be there for that. Also this weekend, speaking of Level Up, they're doing the Persona 4 launch event at Super Arcade, so they'll be doing that on Saturday as well. So you can get your Street Fighter action and your Persona action, you know.
Well, let's take a little bit of a break. You brought up Persona. I'd like to talk about that more.
Oh, yeah, sure.
After
Okay.
the break.
No problem. Okay.
Hello, welcome back to Haters.
It's a pretty appropriate
That
name.
was a pretty appropriate name today, I gotta say. Pretty much nothing but hate for the last like 45
We didn't even get to
minutes.
hate on all the things that I think we wanted to hate on.
I know!
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Let's not go there.
I'm not going to go hate on more things. Okay.
No need.
Okay. So,
Positive times. Speaking of good news, Persona 4 Arena is now out in North America. Awesome. People in Europe, etc., have to wait a little bit longer.
Yep.
But unless you want to import it, which I guess you can do. But the game is out. There have been a ton of streams over the last day.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot more action coming up. You briefly referred to a tournament this Saturday.
Yeah, that
also,
Level Up is doing.
Right.
It's going to be at Big 2 this week.
It'll be at Big 2.
It's also going to be at Wednesday Night Fights this week.
Right.
The Finest KO, they did their 24-hour Persona charity stream just now, which I watched a little bit of. The only match I saw,
Yeah.
like, the guy had a joystick with Persona art on it. Very cool, but he covered every button except for 2. And he has one button that said A, and the other button that said DP.
That's awesome.
So basically, one button was A, the other
Right.
button was B
BC.
plus D.
BD, yeah.
B plus D. And that's the only thing he had available to him. So he couldn't burst.
Wow.
He couldn't do like all those crazy movement stuff.
Wow.
And I saw him win a match.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I only heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard that he was playing Mitsuru, and she's a character that has this great control of mid range. I mean, I don't know if you all watched, but last night we had James Shea and Yu Namba from Atlas
For about 5 hours.
for 5 hours. For 5 hours.
For about 5 hours, yeah.
It was nuts. But yeah, so we went all deep into it, and it was cool. But anyway, just to say.
Mitsuru.
Yeah, Mitsuru, the way that James was describing her, like, it sounds like it totally played out. He was like talking about how she can dominate with mid range control with basically A's and like charge motion A.
Right.
And then her Dragon Punches has a ridiculous hitbox on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's really unfortunate because honestly, if the opponent just thought about it a little carefully, once he got the life lead, he could have just low blocked and he would have never died because his opponent couldn't throw it overhead.
Right, yeah, there's no throw, there's no overhead, yeah, for sure.
Right, so, I mean, literally, he could have just, as soon as he got a lead, he just could have blocked and just took some chip, maybe, you know, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It was all for fun. It wasn't like, they weren't playing, well, I don't know, the guy facepalmed pretty bad after he lost.
Dude, I would facepalm, that would suck. But yeah, the game has been getting a ton of hype.
Yeah.
We've definitely been guilty of that. We, like we said, we spent 5 hours on it, and we've been talking about it occasionally before this even. So I'm really interested to see whether you think it'll live up to the hype. Well, I guess we had a whole episode on that last week.
Yeah.
But now that the game is out and you're seeing whether people are actually picking it up or whether they're actually buying, and I guess we have more information now
Right.
About whether you think that the scene will do well.
So, I mean, I hope it does.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, you know, this is what makes fighting games hard. It's that companies, when they make games, obviously they're interested in those sales. But from us, from a community standpoint, we're interested in the longevity.
Right.
And there are games, I mean, let's face it, before the most recent before MK9, right? MK9 actually is a tournament-worthy game.
Sure.
We've had 8 Mortal Kombats, maybe only 2 of which were tournament-worthy, which were like 2 and UMK3, right? That's the number 1 selling fighting game, like in the country, by leaps and bounds. I mean, it's like you take every Street Fighter game and Tekken game and add them all up together and throw in all the Personas and Guilty Gears, and you know what? You could throw in every version of Guilty Gear you want on top of that, and like on the PlayStation 2, Mortal Kombat probably outsold. One version of Mortal Kombat probably sold all of the other fighting games combined. You know, I mean, that's how much of a domination it was, right? But it's not a competitive game, so who cares, right? So,
you mean pre?
Yeah,
pre-9.
pre-9, right? So the question right now is, you know, if I heard everyone bought Persona, it means nothing to me. It means
Okay.
nothing to me.
Okay.
It really comes down to how long people keep playing the game.
Okay.
And I'm hoping the story mode helps. I'm hoping the easier barrier of entry,
Yeah.
the smaller barrier of entry helps a lot. And so, I do want this game to succeed. It looks like a lot of fun. I have some, trepidations about it just in general, just because these games have had such a hard time gaining popularity in the States. And I hope that we've reached a point now where the fighting game. So we've kind of reached a point right now where we're more aware of fighting games and what makes them good, and we have a stronger appreciation of what makes a good game.
Yeah.
So if the game can remain balanced,
Uh-huh.
and if the game can remain obviously being a quality game,
Yeah.
I hope then people keep playing it.
Well, it sounds like a lot of people are picking it up, including people who I didn't necessarily expect. Like Yipe says that he's playing it.
Oh yeah,
which is awesome. Yeah. It seems like everybody who I know personally is picking the game up.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, everybody who I've talked with or who I've seen randomly pontificate one way or the other has said so, except for only one dude, and that was Fnatic.
That's right.
So Fnatic, basically his position on the game was that he's not playing it because he doesn't think that he can make money doing so, and he thinks that Japan has such a head start on the game that he thinks that they'll dominate it forever, and he'll never be able to really catch up. Which has sort of been the case when a game has been released earlier in Japan, or, well, not necessarily released, but taken seriously in whether in Japan or the US. Whichever one takes it seriously first tends to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that way for a ton of the Street Fighter 3 is a huge example of that. But in Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition 2012, now that we're taking it seriously simultaneously, it's not like that. But for Marvel, which we took seriously first, we're better in it. So it's always been like that.
Guilty Gear and BlazBlue are the perfect example.
Yeah.
Japan got them first, and we just basically can't compete with them.
Right, so that's what he's expecting, and so that's why he's not going to play.
And he's also worried, too, that the game just might not make it. You spend a lot of effort on a game that just isn't going to succeed when you could be practicing the game that is, people are going to play. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
He might be just waiting to see if it turns into a big hit out here.
I can see that. I can see that. But it's definitely a different perspective than the one that we usually see in fighting games. You don't usually see people specifically not pick up a game because of the money situation. The only game that I think about that can remember that kind of thing happening for was more also recently was Skullgirls, which wasn't picked up. People said because it wasn't at Evo. And so they didn't want to practice for a game that wasn't at Evo. But now that that's not a concern, which tournament is going to have the game, where the game is going to show up, not really concerned because there's no huge major coming up like that that's dictating things. In fact, it sounds like this game is going to show up at tournaments. We just mentioned tournaments where it will be.
Right.
So this is kind of a new sort of territory, and I guess it shows a change in fighting game community.
It's like I said, we're so aware of things too, and then the problem with it really comes down to is time has become so much more of a factor than it ever has before, because we had talked about all these games, like we talked about that one episode where like, oh, Guilty Gear's coming back, what's gonna happen with Persona and Skullgirls, and
and BlazBlue now.
Now BlazBlue is coming back. I think we forgot to mention DOA. I don't even remember if we mentioned DOA in that episode. DOA 5 is coming out. They've been releasing a lot of footage on that. Looks really interesting. I don't know, like from the stuff that I'm seeing. I don't know. To me, it was just fascinating to see Virtua Fighter characters in the game. It was kind of neat. But, there's just too many games. There's so many fighting games now. I mean, we've been hyping a lot of games up. Soul Calibur, we did a show on Soul Calibur. We've done shows on Skullgirls, and like I know I haven't played either of those games. Right? We did a show on King of Fighters. I've barely played that game. And Persona, I can't lie, I really want to play this game. I feel the same. I mean, out of all those games that I just mentioned, that's the one I want to play the most because I'm such a fan of Guilty Gear,
right.
And it just, the game looks fun, and looks like there's a lot of creativity to it. It feels like, I mean, to me, like the mark of a good fighting game is to be able to inject your personality into the game.
Yeah,
and Persona feels like you can do that a lot. And so I'm super excited about the game. I still want to learn KOF. I do. I mean, you don't understand. Like I've had days at work where I'm literally just like sitting there thinking to myself, like, which character should I pick? And
Yeah.
I'll just go watch videos. I just start reading, like, the Sparksters wiki on Shuriken, just, like, trying to find more characters to play.
In KOF.
Because I turned out I didn't like the characters that I had chosen.
Yeah. So this guy and I had a set where I was playing my characters, you were playing yours.
Right.
I play King, Maxima, and Daimon. And I basically play them like Street Fighter, because those characters are among the more Street Fighter-y.
Right.
Like, the way I play Daimon is, like, I just play footsies, like, with stand B and D and C, and, like, that's it. Like, then I go for grabs. Like, that's it.
Right. I was actually really surprised at how short range all of Yuri and Benimaru's moves were. Which makes sense, because they're so good characters close up.
That's
that if
the thing.
they had longer range, they'd be broken.
You have to play them like they're KOF characters. But I understand that that's not easy to get into.
I can't play because I don't know it yet. So I
Right.
need to pick characters more suited to a Street Fighter style first.
Okay.
And so I've just been... So I liked Kenso because his low roundhouse was amazing.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'll stick with that character.
Okay.
And I've been looking for other characters, but I want to play... The whole point is I'm trying to play this game as well. I'm trying to find characters that I like, and it's been rough so far. So, and I don't know, so...
Well, I'm really stoked about Shadow Labrys and Kanji and Elizabeth.
Right.
Shadow Labrys, I was in training mode. You know when I said last night that I wasn't going to go to sleep? That I was going to just training mode up for, like, Shadow Lab and stuff? That kind of happened. I mean, not the whole night, but I spent a good while doing that stuff. And then again before I went to work this morning. Man, she's such a cool character. Yeah. She really is. Like, she has such interesting and creative setups. And this is my first day. And then I went online and watched actual good players play. And, like, man, they do some sick stuff. Like, it's so cool.
Right,
so I'm really interested in continuing to play these characters.
No, the one thing I wanted to say, actually, which was really interesting to me when I was talking to... one of my coworkers at work, I saw him playing Persona on the TV during his lunch break and stuff like that. This fellow named James Ong. And I was talking to him about it. And the cool thing about it is... So one of the problems with Guilty Gear, even worse in BlazBlue, probably even worse in Marvel, is when you get hit, you're just basically watching. Like, you just watch.
Okay.
Especially, and then BlazBlue, the worst thing is, like, you watch, and then the end of it is a mix-up into more watching. At least in Marvel, it's like, usually it ends with your character dying. You know, in some weird way, that's kind of good. But, you know, the combos so far in Persona don't feel like they are BlazBlue length. They feel very short, and that seems appealing to me. Like, you know, that... It's definitely more Guilty Gear-esque. Guilty Gear didn't have these ridiculously long combos like BlazBlue did. And, I mean, they were long combos, don't get me wrong, but the practical ones just weren't, like...
Okay. All right. I mean, certainly for me, it's a big plus that these characters, the ones... well, that's not true for Elizabeth, I guess, but for Kanji, things seem pretty easy. For Shabris, it seems pretty easy.
Yeah.
So,
where are you coming up with the name Shabris? Is that what people call her, or is that just you making that up?
I mean, I've heard other people do it. I don't know if it's like an accepted thing or not.
Okay. But so right now for me, like you know me, I love rushdown characters. Right?
Yeah.
So Yosuke, when James was going over him yesterday, I was just like, ooh. Like, he looks really cool. But to be honest with you, like, for some reason this game, I really want to go the opposite route.
Really?
I really want to go the opposite route, and that's why Naoto seems so intriguing.
Interesting.
To me. I just want to be the most annoying person possible with those gunshots.
Sweet.
And I just want to try it.
I don't know. There's
just something that just seemed insanely fun about going bang, bang, bang. Oh, look at me. You know, you can't catch it. And then just that skull mechanic. I think the skull mechanic put me over the top.
That's pretty sick.
That the fact that I have another way to kill people. It's the first time there's like another game where there's like you can go 2 goals at the same time. You know, like I can just drain your life, or if I drain the skulls, I can combo into the super that will kill you. That's true. And that is just absolutely fascinating to me. Like, I love complex character designs like that, and so when I saw that, and I have the chance to maybe play this super turtley character, I don't know, I was just like, I'm kind of enthralled by that, to be honest with you. So
Well, I'm pretty stoked that there doesn't seem to be like the regular boring character in this game. Like, man, most games have a character that like I would not be caught dead playing because it's so uninteresting. In fact, most games I'm only interested in one or two characters.
right, yeah,
But in this one, when we were going through the walkthroughs yesterday with James, even characters who I thought I would hate, like Mitsuru and there was one other one that I don't remember now, but yeah, a couple of them who I thought would be really boring, they actually didn't seem that boring.
yeah.
So it seems like they're
The
pretty interesting.
The other thing that's good about Persona 4 Arena right now, the thing that I'm looking most forward to, is that Arc System Works has one problem, is that they overdevelop their games. False Roman cancels basically force you to play it a certain way.
Right.
Blaze Blue, let's face it, half of those combos, they were designed by the people who made the game. That was the combo that you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? The reason why I love Marvel so much, the reason why I love Capcom games so much is because they give you chain combos, they give you rules, go! And the things that people have come up with have just been ridiculous for these characters, right? Like, you think the Capcom developers thought about, doing Crumple with Nova sitting there and then going Power of the Nova Force and then Sentinel hits and then Power of the Nova Force. No, they weren't thinking about any of that stuff, right? So I love that level of creativity. Okay. And because Persona is so new, they can't overproduce, they can't overdesign the game. You know what I mean? It's too brand new. So I'm excited to see what people are going to come up with this game. Like, I saw a combo with Teddy where they threw the barrel and literally the guy is just like basketball bouncing him on the thing. Is like boing, 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 boing,
Sounds
boing,
cool.
boing.
I gotta check that
Dude,
out.
it was so cool. I was just watching this combo. I was like, this is the most amazing combo ever. You know, but like, I don't know if they thought of that or what, but
Probably not.
It's cool to see that there is this level of creativity in the game right now. And you know how James was just sitting there yesterday, there was at least 4 or 5 times where they're like, this was just discovered today, we found this setup. This was just discovered yesterday, we found this setup. And
I mean, the game has been out for a while in Japan. It's not like a brand new game. But yeah, like, you're definitely right that still a lot of new tech to come up with. It does seem like it's the kind of game where you can be very creative.
Right.
That's certainly why I'm playing, well, not the only reason. Big part of why I'm playing Shadow Labrys. The other one is that she can throw people. Yes.
Yeah, from a screen away.
Like 2/3 screen.
Yeah.
You can send your flaming underground demon at people to throw them. What? Amazing. So yeah, the characters seem pretty cool. I'm excited. It seems like a lot of people are picking up the game.
Yeah.
I'll certainly be, or I am one of them. So.
Yeah. So I'm really interested to play this game, and I just got to sit down and mess with it a little bit and see how it goes. So, like I said, I mean, there's been tons of times, KOF, perfect example, I saw Benimaru and Yuri, and I'm like, I want to play these characters, and after I play them, like, I don't like these characters. Kenso was the one that somehow stuck to me, even though Benimaru and Yuri were the first ones I, experimented with, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really excited about Persona, so.
Okay, just before you get to this,
Right.
I don't know if this is the real Empire Arcadia or not. If it is, it says, don't tell people what our deal with the XG is. I'm just saying that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. My comment was fully prefaced by saying that this is just what I heard. So.
Oh, okay.
If that's not the case, I apologize. Anyway, so get to the Persona thing.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so yesterday, obviously, we had Namba from Atlas here, and he was kind enough to give us some free shirts. And so we have this cool Persona shirt, this Teddy Kuma shirt here, and we'd like to give this away. And so we're going to set up a raffle. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
I had to make a raffle joke, sorry. Raffle Batman's back. Too,
I know,
which
yes.
is so cool.
Raffle
right?
Gotham, continue. It's so good.
Exactly. So, in any case, what we're going to do right now, I think we're at like 4,200 some followers on Ultra Chen TV. Later on today, I'm going to send out a tweet basically saying you can win a Persona shirt. Retweet this, please. And everybody who retweets it will be entered into the contest. And basically, if we can get to like 5,000 followers, I mean that's a lot to ask for. It's a lot to ask for, but we'll see how.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah. If we get to 5,000 followers, as soon as we get there, then I'll raffle off to someone who retweeted it.
Not raffle. You'll have
Fair
a drawing.
enough.
Well, the important part is that there's no money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when it becomes legal or not. So
right. So we'll do a drawing for the people who retweeted it, and if I draw your name, I'm gonna check to see if you follow us, and if you don't follow us, then
you want to do those while we're at it?
Do which one? Oh, the hats. That's true. We still have the
we have these hats from when Mike Z came to show us Skullgirls
with the unique, one of a kind artwork on them, and we never gave them away.
Yeah, I know. We should really get out to that. I don't know. Maybe we'll.
Okay, then what I'll do is, when we get to a certain number, and if you retweet the hat one,
I like this.
We'll do that, and then another number we'll do a hat, and another number we'll do a hat, and
I
the
like
last number we'll do the Persona 4 shirt.
All right, sounds good. Cool. So we'll have details up on our Twitter at UltraChenTV.
Yes, exactly.
Soon, relating to this whole contest, which is not a raffle.
Which is not a raffle, yes. Which is a
legally
giveaway.
speaking, folks.
Exactly.
Not a raffle.
So do not sick raffle Batman on us.
Yeah.
Raffle Batman. This is a perfectly legit, no purchase necessary raffle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thanks for sticking with us.
And it is a large size shirt, and that's the only one that we have. So just letting people know out there. So.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll have details on that at twitter.com/UltraChenTV pretty soon. Thanks a lot for watching tonight. We'll be back next week on Monday. Oh no, we won't actually. We should say that in advance now. We'll actually be in New York City, and we'll be coming home Tuesday. Yeah. So I don't know whether we'll have Monday or Tuesday next week.
Probably not. We'll probably get home right about this time.
That's true. Yeah. Again, we're going to New York City for the Capcom 25th anniversary tournament there, and we'll be back on Tuesday. So probably no Ultra Shen TV at all next week.
Yeah, but tune in to us this weekend for the Capcom 25th. That should be on twitch.tv/Capcom Unity.
That's right. And also check out youtube.com/UltraChenTV, where I'll put up all of the videos from last night going through Persona very, very in-depth.
Right.
That should be up in the next coming days.
And then also, just wanted to apologize to everyone. I know that neither of us have gone to Wednesday Night Fights or the Run Back in like 4 weeks.
Since EVO.
Yeah, since EVO. Honestly, we're just trying our best to take some breaks and stuff like that. And we'll be back shortly. We will be. We'll be back soon. So, yeah. But in the meantime, please tune in to Wednesday Night Fights and the Run Back on twitch.tv/leveluplive, which will be going on tomorrow and on Thursday. So.
All right. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.